Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hawk Talk. My name is Jesus Molina. I am the coordinator for Veteran Center and Multicultural Initiatives. And to highlight Latinx Heritage Month, we'd like to invite everyone to kind of join us and talk or hear about Latinos Unidos. So I'd like to introduce everyone to Latinos Unidos, and if everyone here on the chat can kind of introduce yourselves, if you could tell us your name, area of study if you're a student, and what your role is with Latinos Unidos, or LU if you're cool.
Hello, my name is Guadalupe Solano, and I am a student at Harvard studying electronic engineering technology, and I am the president of Latinos Unidos.
And I am the treasurer of Latinos Unidos. I am currently studying at Harper to be able to get my associates in science, which for future reference will, once I transfer, I'll probably go down a PA track.
Hello, my name is Esmeralda Guerrero Lopez. I'm an academic advisor at Harper College. I am the advisor for Latinos Unidos.
Excellent. And to kind of just start us off, what is Latinos Unidos? What's the purpose?
Well, Latinos Unidos is like a family, where you be able to have connections, get involved, be able to volunteer into the community, just get out there, be able to promote our culture, and just like I said, it's a family, just to have that connection to talk to. From any place, anywhere, and you make friendships along the way. But yeah, this has been going on for a long time. It's been around for a while. But yeah, it's a great organization.
And why did you decide to join? If Guadalupe and Ashley could answer why you decided to join LU or Latinos Unidos?
Well, I decided to join. Like I said, it was a nice organization. I wanted to get involved on campus, and what better way, you know, with people that I could be able to connect with, and Latinos Unidos was able to do that for me. Um, I enjoy like being a part, making new friends. I have friends now, and it's a great opportunity to meet. Um, yeah, I guess to me it's like a big networking thing. So I'm really happy about it. Like I said, it's a big, nice community which I enjoy and I want to share with everybody as well.
Well, for me, what I would say is I was never really in touch with my Hispanic side, mostly, especially not during high school. And it wasn't towards until the end that I actually had joined a group just like Latinos Unidos over there. And I even led in that group too my senior year, which I really enjoyed and I really liked. And coming to Harper, I already knew that I wanted to try to find a club or an organization that was going to give me that same feel of, connection with my inner roots, with people who are like me, just being able to have um, that line of communication with someone who has been and is in the same places that you are. And it's just something that I found really motivational, and I really like being part of groups like this. And honestly, it's been really nice, and I've been able to meet so many new people, and it was just a great transition to college for me.
And Nesbitt, do you want to add anything as far as you take on this? Either, what would you tell students if they wanted to join?
So I like to tell students that involvement is instrumental to your experience. You want to have a rich, abundant collegiate experience, get to know, network students, because in the future, these connections will be lifelines, networking. I mean, the more you can expand that net, the more connections you can form. And so I'll tell you a story just because I love storytelling, but I was a student at Harper College, and so I'm an alum from Harper College. I was also the president of Latinos Unidos back in '99. So coming back to Harper College after working in higher ed for about 7 years, and now it's 10 years in higher ed, I was coming back home, and it was at Harper College that I met my lifelong mentor, Juanita Baster, who retired recently. I'm very sad that she retired. But she was a founding advisor for Latinos Unidos and has made an impact in so many Latino students that have come to Harper that is just, it's just unbelievable. Like, so what I would say to you is get involved, meet students. You don't have to be Latinx student to come to any of our meetings or, see our social sites. Just, meet students.
Excellent. And what are some of the events that you've done in the past?
So some of the events that we have done are, for example, to begin with, we've celebrated the 20th annual Sabor Latino event, which is actually really nice. It showcases a lot of the talents of Latinos Unidos members, and a lot of it was for an effort to fundraise money for conferences, which was great. But one of my favorite that I would say, and I would say a lot of other people's too, or members that I've spoken to, were the chocolate, chocolate, conchas y chismes, which is, of course, a lot of just talking within amongst ourselves, just being able to get to know each other a little more, chismear or whatever it is that we like to tell each other or be able to share with each other. It's just a nice way to be able to get to know people stress-free, not having any expectations or anything like that. It's just more of a getting to know you, just like a random person. And it's really nice.
And for people that might not know what conchas y chisme is, what does that translate to?
So conchas is a type of sweet bread, and chisme would just be gossip. So we're just gossiping with hot chocolate of some sweet bread, and just being able to hang out with each other, which is always great. Even doing that within family. And doing that within a club is, tying back to that thing that like we are like a family. Because that's something that I would do, with my family. And I'm sure that a lot of other members would do with their families too. But moving on to something else, the annual Dia de los Muertos Feria, which of course is, celebrating El Dia de los Muertos and past ancestors who have passed away. With un altar and local vendors too. Something that we do for giving back to the community is, of course, engaging with things such as like Feed My Starving Children, which is, of course, something that we plan on doing most likely again this year. And then lastly, hosted pláticas, which is just talks within the members themselves. And one of the ones that they had hosted previously are challenges faced by our Afro-Latino community, which is something that I think is very empowering, especially with it being able to connect with everything that's currently going on. And it's something that isn't really spoken about due to it having its complex views and perceptions, and because there is, of course, racism sometimes instilled in that Afro-Latino community, which we don't really speak of. And having pláticas like this is honestly very nice to be able to open our eyes to certain topics such as this one. And it's just things like that.
Excellent. And you kind of mentioned like some of these events were done on campus, with no students, being allowed on campus, and with us not even being able to go on campus. What's your plan to kind of create these events in a virtual setting, or how do you plan to engage, members and potential students virtually?
So we plan on doing something a little bit like this, Webex, which we will most likely do every Wednesdays at 2 p.m. And this is more like just virtual meetings of us, the like me, Guadalupe, and Emily, of course, who wasn't able to join us today, but we will be there to just speak to the members and, have, of course, different types of maybe little events or like games or just stuff to interact with the members, because of course, like you said, we can't really see them in person, so there's only so much we could do, but with that time that we are allotted, we'll do as much as we can to be able to make that connection that we did in person.
Yeah, if everyone has a loteria game at home, that's a good way to kind of have a virtual night or virtual game night. Then maybe you could kind of talk to this next question. If other departments or faculty would like to connect or collaborate with Latinos Unidos, what's the best way to kind of connect and move forward with that?
So Latinos Unidos does have an email that anybody can reach out to them, and I'll let Lupe share the social sites and the email information. I wanted to share that we do have some upcoming events planned, and so we are partnering with Access and Disability Services, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, the Office of ASL, Deaf, and Pride Club to present visual vernacular with Justin Perez. This is taking place Wednesday, September 30th at 3 p.m. And it is a virtual event featuring storytelling through gesturing and making pictures. So that's going to be amazing. On October 21st from 3 to 4 p.m., also virtually, we do have the honor of hosting, and this is again with Access and Disability Services, as well as Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, the Office of, and some of the other clubs participating. We're going to host Kay Barrett for the virtual event More Than Organs with Kay Barrett. And Kay Barrett is a poet, performer, and educator navigating life as a disabled Filipinx American transgender queer in the U.S. So amazing collaboration happening, and more to come. So Latinos Unidos loves to collaborate with student organizations and offices for anything, especially during these times that is vital for us to connect, connecting. When we did it so much in person on campus, now virtually, where it's different, making these partnership collaborations is key to the success, I feel. So I'll let Lupe talk about the ways that you can reach out to us to collaborate.
Well, we have different ways of communications. Our main would be like through email, which would be like Harper College and lu@gmail.com. That's where usually we'll be able to reach us, with any, collaborations. We can also be reached through the Student Involvement Office. They'll be able to connect with us, if anything. And like another mechanism would be our social media. We have from like our Facebook, Instagram, a Snapchat as well. So in any of those, whether it's student, faculty, or another organization member, we're able to connect in any way possible. So, yeah.
Awesome. Definitely look forward to that. And with Latinx Heritage Month starting yesterday, how do you celebrate your culture or your heritage during this time?
Well, for me, I just kind of spend it with my family, whether it's like talking with them, learning a little more. We really like to watch movies or films like that they were produced. We would love to watch those in my family wise. But yeah, being able to like just, learn a little more, and share that experience with family, it's the main thing for me, I guess.
And what's your favorite movie to watch?
I don't have a favorite, but like I said, we really get into like documentaries. Whatever this is, like it's a war or something like that, like or like just like maybe like a artist or like a celebrity or like stories, like those like films we have. But yeah, there's a lot. I don't have favorites. I get new ones every single time.
And what about you, Ashley? What do you like to do during Latinx Heritage Month?
Well, for me, so I've never really done anything specifically or had any sort of traditions, but within my family, But I would say that definitely around this time is when I like to start rewatching certain of like a few of my favorite telenovelas and binge watching a lot. So I know that's not super great sometimes, but you know, I indulge with that a few times, and it's honestly really nice because like that was one of the things that I did growing up, and like that's one of the things that like me and my mom would be able to talk about, or we're like, oh, ya son las ocho, like, you know, our novela's gonna come up. And I'm just like, oh yeah, okay. So for me, that is really what I associate with like my Latin heritage. That's how most of it was able to really be kept alive throughout my schooling, which, you know, of course, not a lot is portrayed in schools. Um, you know, because going to school, I always had to speak English. And it's like at home, my parents always made me want to speak Spanish because you're like, okay, at school, you already speak English all day. Here, you're supposed to speak Spanish. You know, so it's a little different. And I mean, I really did like to be able to speak my language with my own parents and sometimes with, of course, some of my friends. And it's honestly really nice to be able to just do it worry free and without any judgment within family or anything like that. Because I mean, sadly, sometimes, you know, with not the right people around, things can be not so great. But I mean, you know, it is what it is. And I really liked that this whole, you know, Latinx Heritage Month even exists, right? Because it's honestly an honor to be able to have something dedicated to our culture like this.
And so, what are those novelas that you're binge watching now?
Well, one of the ones that I always like to watch which is one of my mom's favorites, is Mariela del Barrio. I don't know if you know that one, but that one was one of my favorites. I watched it more than 3-4 times already. But I also sometimes, I'm sorry?
What about Marimar?
Oh yeah, that was a good one too. Yeah, Marimar. Pero I mean, I have also binged Jane the Virgin. I mean, it's not really a telenovela, but I really like the fact that it mixes with, you know, that Latin heritage and being American, which is something that I really like to connect with because I do feel that, you know, like having to live those both lives. And honestly, it's really nice. It's like an English, you know, TV show, but in a telenovela style, which I really like.
Yeah, and one that I watched earlier this year was Gentefied, that kind of again blended the two kind of cultures between being American and being, you know, Mexican and Mexican American. They also had a lot of different other kind of identities in within that show, whether you know it was the Afro Latina or the lesbian identity. I thought that was great. So pretty happy that it got renewed for a second season.
Yeah, I did watch that one. It's a good show.
I like to get ready for Dia de los Muertos. I know it's too soon. It's September, but I think for me it's never too soon. I'm not even lying, but Dia de los Muertos, I have it year round. And so my girls, I have 2 girls. I just think it's important to have some of the culture pieces or share with them, you know, los libros, the language, the food, whatever it is. And so I was born in Morelia, Michoacan, Mexico. Today's my birthday. So my mom says that she was giving el grito when I was born, and it was very appropriate because, you know, that was a time. But I don't know. I was born in Mexico. I lived there for some time, and I don't want my girls to not have that. And so when we were on campus, we had the altar, we would do dance classes, we would bring awareness. It's just about sharing that with all our students, right? So they have that opportunity. So Dia de los Muertos is never too soon. And I know we'll be doing some things for that. And I look forward to that.
Yeah, I was kind of the same way. I was born here, but I lived in Mexico for a couple of years, and my mom's from Michoacan as well. And so they would do the whole visiting the cemetery. And I just kind of vaguely remember when I was little, going to the cemetery and visiting loved ones. And it was all about celebrating their life and not really being a sad moment. And I think that's kind of like the unique way of our culture is that we're all about celebrating our successes, our culture. And like Ashley said, it's great that we were able to kind of do that during this time period, but also throughout the year. And so to kind of close us out with Guadalupe and Ashley, what are some advice that you could give to our new students, especially, for those students that were expecting to be on campus for their first semester of college, but now, we're in a virtual kind of remote setting. What have you done to kind of moved you forward to kind of be successful?
I would say just like kind of ask for help, look out, connect with other students. I think that's going to be the best way to be able to get through this because we're not alone in this. So it's always good, I want to say like make a buddy, in class, plan something, talk to someone because it is a lot of self learning too, and we're all learning. So I guess might as well do it with someone. I think that's my biggest thing, like be able to reach out to people, don't be shy, because I was like that too. I would be like very concealed, scared, like what? But I tend to like break down, like, okay, you know what? We gotta get this done. Let's get some people around, and it's been great. Whether it's like being in classroom and now virtual as well, it's still the same feeling when you get people together. So I think that would make things like reach out, even to professors if anything, so like they can help you get a group set up, talk, I think that was the biggest thing, don't be afraid to ask out, talk to people and stuff. Because I know that was something I struggled with, and I'm really glad I'm not anymore. And I just started like, okay, making a friend today. I think that would be my big thing, making that connection. Again with that networking. I think I'm very big with that, and it's really helpful for me and hope for everybody else as well.
Yeah, going off of what Lupe said, I agree completely. Being able to communicate is always great, especially for, people who are all new to this. And I mean, we all are. So I know that I'm starting my second year off in college, but I mean, then again, this is my first year of it being virtual. So, I'm new to this too. And that's okay to have that fear of maybe not knowing what it is that you're doing. But of course, to a certain extent, where, you still are motivated to keep going, even if it might get a little hard. And it's okay to reach out and ask for help. You never have to feel like you can't do something because you have to ask for help. Just because you need that little push doesn't mean that you can't do it. And I feel that for me, especially, what's been working a lot is using a lot of scheduled planners, being able to write everything down that I need to do, being able to maybe even tell someone, oh, like I have to get this done today, or just make, little small reminders for me, or even post notes on my wall just randomly. Because I know that I have a lot of things on my head and it just all spills out, and I once in a while forget that I need to do something, and it happens, but of course we don't want to make that a habit. So planning for me has really helped me this past semester, or this month, I mean. And I'm glad that that's one thing that I've been able to figure out not too late into the semester, so it wouldn't affect me. But that's something that I would suggest for newcomers to do, because it is very helpful.
All right, thank you, Ashley, for your answer. This kind of wraps up our session for today. I'd like to thank again Esmeralda, Guadalupe, Ashley, for taking the moment to kind of talk to us about Latinos Unidos. They do a lot more than what was mentioned today. And if you want to find out more on how to be involved with Latinos Unidos, definitely follow them on social media, as well as contact them through email. If you want to find their information, you can definitely go to Student Involvement's student organization page and find their information on there as well. So thank you again. We'll definitely have to meet again, either on Loteria Night or Conchas y Chisme, and hopefully you deliver for those conchas, as I don't know if they have any places around here. So thank you. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you in the semester. Thank you.
Thank you.